Golden State Warriors have just received terrible news. Welcome into Golden State Warriors today. I'm your host, Tyler Smith. De'Anthony Melton has suffered a sprained left ACL, as reported by Charania, and the Warriors announced it today. Man, this is a tough blow for a guy who just seems to not be able to consistently be available in this league. And it's super unfortunate because he has been contributing to this Warriors roster. Steve Kerr has seemed to have put a lot of trust and faith in De'Anthony Melton as he recently named him the starting shooting guard for Golden State going forward after Melton came back from a back flare-up. And that's been something that has held him out for quite a few games in his NBA career. It's something that was the reason why he came to Golden State. Part of the reason why he came to Golden State is because Golden State has an incredible training staff, and hopefully they can help Melton progress along on this journey, and hopefully he can be back on the court as quickly as possible. Now, I'm recording this video, as you can know, in my apartment right now on my off day, and I wanted to bring you guys this as quickly as possible because this is why you subscribe to Golden State Warriors today. When we receive news, whenever there's an injury, whenever there's an update, a trade, alert, whatever's going on with the Golden State Warriors, we give you guys a video and bring you guys the news right here on the channel. So hit that sub button and join us along covering your Golden State Warriors every single day, all season long, 365 days a year. We even do it in the offseason, baby. Subscribe and join us and lock us in as your number one source of Golden State Warriors content. So we don't, unfortunately, we don't know the severity of the injury just yet. There are two possibilities as to how long or a probable timetable as to when De'Anthony Melton could return to the Golden State Warriors lineup. And if it is a grade 1 sprain of the ACL, and I'm not a doctor, so I'm trying to explain this and articulate this as best as I can, but if it is a grade 1 sprain, that means there is no structural damage to the ACL. Good news there, but we don't know yet. The timetable on a recovery there would be 2 to 4 weeks, so not a major injury here for Melton if it is to be a grade 1 sprain. If it is a grade 2 sprain, that means there is structural damage, and it would likely be a 4 to 12 week recovery timetable. So there is worst case scenario, De'Anthony Melton misses about 3 months here for Golden State, or in best case scenario, he misses 5-6 games, and he comes back in about 2 to 4 weeks. So there is a potential silver lining here, but we don't know the severity yet. I'll probably give you guys an update on tomorrow's video when we know a little bit more about Melton's injury. Now, for a Golden State Warriors lineup that has gelled so wonderfully so far to start the NBA season, I mean, they're 9-2, one of the best records in the entire league. This is a tough blow because De'Anthony Melton seemed to be a focal point moving forward for this Golden State Warriors team. He was taking upwards of 10-12 shots a night when he was available. And you want to talk about the impact that he has for this Warriors team, it cannot be understated. I mean, as far as point of attack defenders go, you have him and Gary Payton the second as the two best point of attack defenders on this team. And what De'Anthony Melton can bring on the offensive end is what Gary Payton II really can't. And that's why he's been entrusted by Steve Kerr to be the starting shooting guard on this roster. He can hit the transition three. He can hit the catch and shoot three. He can create for himself for a little bit, and he can also create for others. So for a Warriors team who we can constantly see when a guy like Steph and Curry isn't out there on the floor, and Golden State really can't find a source of scoring, and oftentimes can't find a true ball handler and somebody who can initiate the offense. De'Anthony Melton has kind of stepped up to the plate in that regard, acting as a pseudo point guard when Stephen Curry is coming off the ball. Oftentimes, when the opponent makes a shot and the ball is inbounded, the ball is given to De'Anthony Melton so Stephen Curry can go get something working down on the other end. So this is a tough blow for Golden State. You think about guys who have to step up now in Melton's absence. A Moses Moody, who's not going to be, who hasn't been really featured in the most critical moments of the Warriors' past few games. He doesn't seem to be solidified in the rotation like we thought he was earlier, right when the season was about to start, right when he got that 3-year, $39 million contract. He'll potentially get some more minutes and likely will get some more minutes now with Melton out. Brandon Pajemski is the name that I really want to focus on, though, right now, because Pods has not really been that great or that productive for Golden State so far this year. He's continuing to do the dirty work. He's continuing to be a high-effort type of player, putting his body on the line, taking charges, getting his hands in passing lanes, and deflecting the ball here and there. But he's not somebody who's going to be an on-ball stopper. He's not somebody who's going to be a go-to scorer on the other end. He's somebody who makes the right basketball plays, but even then, he comes into the game and he'll have a couple of turnovers, and that'll really just diminish the production that he's positively having for the Golden State Warriors when he gives it back to the opposition. So Brandon Podziemski is going to have to step up majorly in this role. And I mean, at the end of the day, Stephen Curry is also going to have to shoulder just a little bit more weight now because Melton was taking a bunch of shots here over the past couple of games. You think about the 19-point performance he had against the OKC Thunder a couple of days ago. I mean, he was lighting it up, and he's a guy who gets out in transition. He's a guy who fits this Warriors style. It's just unfortunate that he won't be here in the lineup because I think and Steve Kerr thinks as well, the Golden State Warriors' best lineup out there is the one that starts the game. Steph, Melton, Wiggins, Green, and TJD. When you have spark plugs like Jonathan Kuminga off of the bench, Golden State can really maximize their potential. They can maximize the depth that they've added to this team this offseason. So losing Melton kind of just throws a wrench in that. Maybe we see a guy like Lindy Waters emerge back into the rotation like he did when Melton was out previously and Steph was out previously. There's going to be new rotations that Steve Kerr is going to have to run here over the next couple of games and potentially over the next couple of weeks or months with De'Anthony Melton out. Spam your 8s down in the comments section. Show De'Anthony Melton some love. Show him that Dub Nation is behind him for his recovery because, man, I loved watching De'Anthony Melton in the lineup, always getting his hands in the lanes, always pressing up on the offensive player, no matter if it's one of the best scorers in the league in Kyrie Irving or one of the best creators in the league in Kyrie Irving or Luka Doncic or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It didn't matter. De'Anthony Melton is a pest, and he really seems to embody with the style and the culture that the Golden State Warriors have so far this season, 9-2. Hopefully, Melton gets back sooner rather than later. I want to talk more a little bit about Stephen Curry's role and Draymond Green's role for Golden State and how kind of De'Anthony Melton here being out just makes life more difficult for Golden State because over the past couple of games with Steph Curry being back and having these major performances, back-to-back 30-plus point efforts, there is times throughout the game when Stephen Curry and also Draymond Green are off of the floor. And it was really most apparent during the Mavericks game that when those two guys were not on the court together, or even one of them wasn't on the court, the Golden State Warriors offense was bad. Let's be honest. It was bad. You could not find a source of scoring whatsoever. It didn't even matter if De'Anthony Melton was out there. I don't think that there were too many minutes where Melton was on the floor where Curry and Green were not, though. I think they rotated those guys in pretty frequently together. But there was not a source of offense on the floor when those two guys were missing. And now you lose De'Anthony Melton, and there's going to be minutes now where Steph and Draymond are not on the floor, and then you don't have a guy like Melton to facilitate things or go get his own shot or be that best on-ball defender on the floor for Golden State. Then you're going to have to put a guy like Gary Payton second in the game who really doesn't do much offensively unless Stephen Curry's drawn a double team or Draymond Green is drawn a double team or something like that at the high post. And Gary Payton II could be cutting baseline and from the dunker spot for easy twos. But yeah, when you have a guy like that out there as opposed to a De'Anthony Melton, your offense feels a little bit limited. So it's unfortunate that Melton's not going to be around here for the next couple of games for Golden State. But hey, let's be honest. Do we all think that Golden State was going to be 9-2 after that crazy road stretch that they had where they went 4-1 and then came back to the Chase Center and pulled out a clutch victory over the Dallas Mavericks in Klay Thompson's return? Shout out to Steph for that night dagger. I've been replaying that one over the past couple of days. It was awesome. But yeah, it's a big test for these Warriors over the next couple of days. The depth continues to be tested as Golden State has featured a couple of injuries so far this season. Andrew Wiggins has missed some games. Steph Curry's obviously missed some games, and Melton has missed some games one stint already, and now he's about to miss some more games. So the depth of Golden State's backcourt continues to be tested. We'll see who emerges in this rotation while Melton is out, and we'll keep you updated along Melton's recovery process and give you more info when we know more. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/WarriorsTV. That'll be it for today's edition of Warriors Today by Chat Sports. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Dubs.